Hello, welcome back, everybody, to another Mindset X Factor podcast. We are joined today by Dave Boreham, who's the founder and executive chairman of MCA Training International. I'm Raynor Boreham, the CEO of MCA Training International. And on today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the power of gratitude and also the importance of practicing daily appreciation. So, Dad, thank you once again for joining us. Very grateful to have you. Excuse the pun. But I just wanted to ask, so power of gratitude. Okay, what difference does it make to have this sort of practicing gratitude and practicing appreciation? Does it really make a difference in our lives? Or is it something that people are just saying because it sounds nice? What is what is your take on it?
Oh, thanks, Raynor. That's a good question. I think that if one looks at practicing gratitude, gratitude gives you a very different perspective on things. When you gratitude tends to turn everything into enough. There's everything. Everybody's got everything there. If you don't realize it, then you feel this lack and this poor me, this victim sort of mentality. But when you start to realize that you already have it, that there's so much to be grateful for in life, that there are great opportunities, that there's, I mean, I look at the things that when I first started practicing gratitude, and I started to realize, but I'm grateful for the fact that I have teeth. I'm grateful for the fact that I can see and hear and touch and feel and smell and so on, and that I have legs to walk and arms to do things with, and a beautiful wife and family and children, and it can just go on and on and on, and that I live in a beautiful part of the world, and that I enjoy incredible opportunities to travel and to experience things and so on and so forth. And so gratitude gives you a totally different perspective on things. And you start to realize that I'm not this lack person any longer. I just have so much that's available to me when I practice the attitude of gratitude, so to speak.
Okay. And so why is it so important then, as you say, so it shifts your perspective and your mindset from maybe this lack mentality that there's not enough out there for me, and now that to a mentality where, there is a lot for me to be grateful for. As you said, you're grateful for all sorts of things, including your teeth, which I think normally people don't think about that sort of thing, But it's true. There's a lot out there that we can be grateful for. Um, so what does that do for us practically in our lives to have this shift in our mindsets?
Well, it does a lot of things. It does tremendous amount. Attitude act. I mean, the attitude of gratitude actually gives you a lot more resilience. It doesn't mean that you're not going through tough times or anything like that, but you start to realize that when you do, and if you do go through tough times, you're able to deal with them so much more effectively. So whether you're on the top of the mountain or in the valley or whatever the case may be, you're able to experience life in a completely different way. And that's the power of gratitude. Not only that, but science has shown that when people just a great thank you from the heart, so to speak, lights up certain electrodes in our brain that actually release dopamine and the serotonin and get rid of cortisol and the stress hormones and replace them with the good feeling hormones, and to an extent where you actually want to be grateful for things. You want to share that gratitude. You want to experience the act of gratitude and being grateful for what we have in life. And it's an extremely powerful process when we actually do that. Just writing down 5 things every day that we're grateful for is a very, very powerful exercise. Or being mindful of what you are grateful and going into the present and realizing what you have and how abundant you really are in life.
Because yeah, that does make a lot of sense, and what it can really do for us. But when you say that it can help us to to sort of see things differently. And even when we're going through hard times and when we're going through trials and difficulties, as inevitably we will, those things will never be taken from us. But it allows you to sort of see those things differently as well, about maybe seeing them as a learning experience or seeing it as an opportunity rather than as something that you're trying to avoid, or feeling like a victim and feeling like, oh, why is this happening to me? Who's out to get me? Whether it's God or the universe or my neighbors, whoever it might be, my spouse, whoever it might be is out to get me. But instead it changes the focus to something else. And would you agree that these sort of people, you could say, for a bit of a cliche, they're more optimistic, more upbeat with regards to life as well?
Yeah, especially if you look at leadership, for example, you'll find that a grateful leader is a magnetic leader. They tend to feel far more secure within themselves. So you talk about the resilience that gratitude brings. You talk about the power that gratitude gives you. And when you're giving out, you're always getting back. It's called the law of attraction, and it's really powerful. It's extremely powerful. So giving out gratitude for the things we have seems to reinforce those things and those opportunities and those experiences and so on. It also improves our physical and our mental well-being. And that's really important from a person. You wake up in the morning and you're feeling far more positive about life than if you were ungrateful for the things that you have in life. If you always focusing on the lack and so on and so forth, that's exactly what you start to experience in your life.
Yeah. And I think, like, I'm just looking at from my own perspective, what's the sort of person I'd rather hang out with and be around. The type
Yeah.
of person that's always looking at everything that's wrong, and all the bad things that are happening in the world, because they are out there, of course, but there's both sides of the coin in the world. That's just the type of world we live in. But what would you rather focus on? And those types of people that focus on the good and are those optimistic types of people and are those grateful types of people and actually show gratitude to you for the things that you do, that those are the type of people I'd rather be around than the types of people that perhaps aren't grateful and don't say thank you. Because I know, like, if I do something for someone and they don't say thank you for it, whether I did it for that or not, just that lack of appreciation for the time I've given, for the effort I've given towards them, if perhaps they ask for a favor later on, it makes me quite reluctant to do that, because I feel like they're just not grateful for my efforts and that sort of thing. As opposed to someone that always shows their gratitude, you'll actually look for opportunities to help them, and as you say, it's that just draws people to you. I think when I look at it for myself, what kind of person would I rather be? And I think it's a no-brainer as to what kind of person you want to be, and sort of the feelings and the vibes that you carry around with you. And it'd be far greater than that when you have gratitude in your heart than someone who's always seen the lack, and, or I can say that, the disregard for all that is good in this world. I think so obviously we can see why it's so important to have gratitude and to practice gratitude. And you sort of touched on some of the things that we can do to practice gratitude in our lives. So you said to every day to write down 5 things that we're grateful for. What are some other tips that you think we can do to sort of practice this daily appreciation and to sort of start shifting our mindsets into a more grateful type of mindset?
Well, as I said, there's meditation and mindfulness, and one can go on to Spotify, YouTube, and various other apps that provide you with mindfulness exercises and meditation exercises that help with gratitude and experiencing gratitude. You have certain exercises there that's are specific for gratitude, and I would certainly suggest those. Another one is journaling. If you feel like you enjoy journaling and identifying things that you are grateful for, write them down. Write down how you're feeling about them and how you feel about the moment of and appreciation for all those opportunities and things and experiences that we have in life. I think, Raynor, just in closing our podcast today, it's really important to point out that gratitude doesn't ignore the reality that we are in. It doesn't ignore that. It just seems to it seems to help us to change the way we relate to it. And so, as I said earlier on, if you're going through a difficult time in your life, it doesn't mean that you're not going through that difficult time. But when you're grateful for those opportunities, because we can always learn, even from the difficult side of life, we can always learn from it. Might not be what we want, but we can always learn from it and be grateful for the fact that we can learn. If you're going to just bemoan your fate all the time and you're going to feel sorry for yourself, you learn nothing from it. You don't grow from that. And so these opportunities, whether they be great opportunities that are given to us on a frequent basis, or when we're going through challenges where we need to learn from them, we need to be grateful for. And I think that's the important aspect of gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think also moaning about our challenges aren't going to help us in any way. It's not going to help us work through that and to overcome them. In fact, it's probably going to do the opposite. So I think, yeah, I'm very, very grateful for the things that you've shared with us today and for your time. So thank you so much
I'm
for being
grateful for
with
the
us.
opportunity.
Yeah, good. Great. We're grateful
Okay.
for all of you that have listened in or watched this podcast. Thank you so much. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember, if you haven't done so already, to like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to it, and to please share it with your friends and colleagues and to anyone else you feel could benefit from the things we share and the information we share on the Mindset X Factor podcast. As a reminder, remember, know who you are, know what you want, go out and get it, stop making excuses, unleash the champion inside, be true to yourself, have fun and have courage, and never give up. Until next time, take care.